because apparently white people love going where black people want to go but can't go into.
They call me childish. They call me the Holy Ghost, son of the Most Father. They don't know me.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel and to another story time. I'm already within the makeup. I actually just wanted to bring you this one in light of the Harry, Meghan, Oprah interview. I'm actually not going to be talking about it, but it reminded me of the subtlety of English racism, okay? And the reason why I say that is that after the interview came out, particularly in the white British media, there were words being thrown around, okay? People were talking about, oh, casual racism. Is it even true? These people don't understand exactly how much the racism is entrenched in their country and how subtly they implement it. So this story came to mind. Alright, so if any of you guys know me, then you know that I went to school in the UK. I did my LLB, my LLM, and my LPC in the UK, and I did the LLB and the LLM at the University of Sussex in Brighton. My first job ever was in my first year, and I was working as a club promoter, okay? People would be crossing the streets to try and avoid getting a flyer from. That was me. Like, I actually really enjoyed that job. People used to call me Honey Girl because the club that I used to work for was called Honey Club, and Honey Club was popping, guys. Maybe because it was the black club. At that time, there weren't a lot of places that would play like dance hall or Afro beats, and they used to do that at Honey Club. So of course the black population would be drawn towards it, but we didn't discriminate. Everyone was welcome. So yeah, I was promoting for Honey Club, and I was one of those promoters where like I'd be selling dreams to people on the streets. People would be like, are you gonna be in the club? And I'm like, yes, I'll be there like just now. And before you know it, you said that to 50 people who are expecting you when you walk into the club. And they're like, Tash, I'm here. And I'm like, yay, thank you for the drink. And I'm like trying to do all my rounds to my 50 people because I need them there next week. Oh God. Once you've paid the entry, I'm paid and I'm good. I don't want to say it was due to 419 or mismanagement of money, allegedly. But it so happened that Honey Club was actually being closed down, and it was being transferred to this franchise called Shush. Now Shush already had Shush already had locations throughout England. Like the one that I remember at the time, they had one in London, and I think they had one in Croydon. And it was kind of known as being like this classy kind of club. And they wanted to come to Brighton and have the same image. But they also were saying that they want to keep the Honey Club base. So they didn't retrench us. Thank you. I don't think there's even retrenchment when you're a promoter, like you're being paid under the table. They decided to keep the same promoters from Honey Club to promote the changeover into Shush. And people were even calling it the new Honey Club, etc. Excitement was building, okay? It was gonna be the hottest club on the block. Opening night came. Everybody got dressed up, decked out. Of course, as a girl, you beat your face. You wear the most impossible shoes that mean that you will have to sit down literally as soon as you make it into the club. You're looking for a dress that is either too short or too sparkly, and really the sweet spot is the middle ground between those two. We were already decided to go, and at that time as well, I used to hang out with a lot of black people, mainly like Zimbabwean, but also like a lot of Nigerians. And I've always been the kind of girl who makes friends easier with guys than with girls. So there were also a lot of guys there, and mainly black. Stay with me. We decide we're going to the opening of Shush. We go, we get to the door, and already there were people who were like disgruntled outside the door. And we're like, cool, what's going on? And then they're like, no, they wouldn't let us in. They said that we're not within the dress code or the image code of what was supposed to be inside, which was very confusing to me because I was like, well, if this is the new Honey Club, these were our Honey Club peeps. What's happening? At that that point, I believe we should have stood in solidarity with our brothers and sisters, but we're like, oh, okay, well, we're the promoters, so we should be able to get inside. We go to the door, okay, and then we're told that no, actually you can't get inside because you're too large a group, and there are too many. I can't remember the words that they used, but ultimately they were saying that there are too many black guys and not enough girls, and it's too large a black group. That's what I heard, okay? And that's what everyone else heard. So we weren't allowed to get into the club. That was strike two. We should have packed ourselves and gone to somewhere where we were being accepted. But no! We said no! We wanna go into shush, especially after you've already been part of the people who were promoting it. Of course you wanna go. So we were like, guys, maybe if we break up into small groups, you know, 2 girls and a guy, 2 guys and a girl, and diversify our portfolio, they'll let us in. And if we don't stand together in the queue, then they won't feel like it's too many black people. First of all, you have to ask yourself the question, why do you feel like you need to do that in order to get into a club? That in itself is already a problem. Break up into the different groups, and lo and behold, we're allowed into the club. Get inside, and the whole situation was not even what we thought it was going to be. We thought they would be playing dance hall, they'd be playing the stuff that we were used to at Honey Club, and meanwhile, they're playing all this EDM stuff. And we're like, guys, we've been duped here. Strike 3. We should have packed our things and gone home. But we persevered once more. And we're like, no, this is supposed to be the hot club, so we have to stay. Completely did not enjoy ourselves, but just for the sake that it had been advertised as being a certain way, we were like, yes, we must stay. And that's what I want to speak to, which is how entrenched the racism is in such a way that you not only start working against yourself, but also against your own people. Because for me personally, looking back at it, I'm like, one, why did I then, after that, continue to promote for a club that I knew was not allowing my people in, even though they want me to promote to those people because they want to generate interest. Because apparently white people love going where black people want to go but can't go into. Okay. So they want us to generate the interest, but I know that my people are not going to be let in. Why did I even want to continue to work for a situation like that? I didn't. I was broke. I was in uni, but I should have known better, and I didn't. And the second part, aside from my own betrayal of my people, I don't know what it is about us black people. Like, we want to go to the places that they don't want us in. So you have people at the door being denied because they're too black, or there's too many of them. They're saying that they're trying to avoid shankings, like all these things, and that is still the place that would want to go. So much so that even years after the fact, when they were still having, because I want to say this was around 2013, 2014, even then, when they were still discriminating against people, you would have us as black people not only saying, okay, we need to dress this way, we need to separate ourselves as a group in this way, but even putting money, your own money, into wanting to get admission into a club that you don't even enjoy, mind you, just for the sake that you haven't been allowed to be in there. So you'd have people being like, no guys, if we want to get into shush, we have to get a table. So huddle up everyone, and put your coins together. These are uni students. Put your coins together so that we can be able to get a table, and then we know that we're going to be able to be allowed inside. The last thing that I would say about that situation would be the fact that the stories of people not being allowed because of their race never stopped. And it actually became kind of a flex at some point to be like, oh guys, I went to shush and I got let in. It was like achievement. I mean, it's the wildest thing, and it's the wildest concept to actually know that not only were you part of that situation, but like people are blind to the fact that a situation like that exists. It was very recently when I saw a story about like a similar situation about the district club in London, where they were not letting people in because they were too dark or they were overweight and didn't fit the aesthetic of whatever they were trying to do. They even had celebrities such as like Azealia Banks and Omarion cancelling their concerts there because of the racism. But this is still something that very much happens in the UK. I know this for a fact. The subtlety of British racism makes it a bit more palatable for white people, but a lot more violent for black people. Okay, because like for black Americans, I feel like most of the times it's very blatant. Like you'll have someone calling you the N-word or something like that. But no, the British are very casual racist about it. And it's very interesting that it took this conversation between Harry, Meghan, and Oprah for people to start looking into it. I understand why, because it's on a large scale, right? It's because we're looking at the royal family and it's like, wait, how can the royal family be racist? So you mean how can the head of this very racist country be racist? And on top of that, we're not even talking about like a blackity black woman, okay? Even in the earlier parts of her career, listen, I love Meghan Markle as much as the next person, but even in the earlier parts of her career, she's white passing. Like if she decided not to claim her blackness, no one would blink an eye. They'll just be like, oh, nice tan, or racially ambiguous, because she can do things like that. So imagine what it's like for the actual dark-skinned blackity black person in the UK who can't choose whether they want to assert their blackness or not. Ciao. I think the moral of that story is that sometimes as a people, we let ourselves down. I understand, yes, racism is entrenched, particularly in a lot of societies, actually, racism is entrenched. But a lot of the times, it's us letting ourselves down. Because I didn't need to continue promoting that club once I realized that it wasn't letting black people in, right? But I did. Other people didn't need to pool their resources to try and get in when they know that they're not wanted in. But they did. Why? Because we've been made to think that the places where we're not wanted are the best places to be, instead of creating our own places. It might be due to colonialism. It might be due to just an inferiority complex. But remind me, guys, one day I need to tell you the story about how we went to fishmongers, Jay and I, the other day, and we were denied entry because the guard said that I'm not supposed to let black people in. I don't know if I'm really feeling this pink lipstick situation. I think I look hungry. This is why I don't like light lipsticks. But anyways, I hope you liked my story time. If you did, please make sure you're in the comment section. If you didn't, go in the comment section. If you aren't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. We're on the journey to 1,000 subscribers. What?
Big on me, the Holy Ghost, Son of the Most, Father, they don't know me.